Blog Talk Radio.
As soon as we start thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to go to work tomorrow, what's going to happen? The adrenaline starts pumping, the cortisol starts flowing, everything starts happening within the body, getting ready to go to work. Oh my gosh, no, what is going to happen? Or we can think, oh, tomorrow is Monday and I'm going to be ready for work, and oh, I know how I want work to be tomorrow. And then we envision this beautiful flow of our day and what's going to happen depending upon what our job is, and how we're going to bring the fullness and the peacefulness and love of ourselves into our job. And this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We have a choice. Mm-hmm. And the body's going to respond according to what choice we make. The body just takes direction.
Mm-hmm. It's a tool, right, for experiencing.
It's a tool, exactly. And it's just like a hammer. The hammer is just sitting there on the table being a hammer until you pick it up and tell it to hit a nail. Well, the body's just sitting there being a body until you tell it to get excited or to be depressed or to be sick or to be whatever you want it to be. You're the one telling it what it's supposed to do to respond. And then it just follows direction, which is the same for the universe. You know, there's so much talk about the law of attraction. The law of attraction is no more than you telling the universe, this is what I really believe is true. And the universe, I'm using that word loosely here, it just responds. It goes, oh, okay, this is what you believe is true, and it just hands you whatever you said you believe was true. It doesn't care. It doesn't have a judgment. Like, you really shouldn't be asking for that, you know. It doesn't say that. You just get whatever you send out, and that's one of the things that I teach in great depth in my metaphysical classes, is not the law of attraction per se, not from that standpoint, but how that operates, how our waves, they're called standing waves, how they send out information and receive information at the same time, and how we are doing this constantly. In other words, our conversation right now is being experienced by absolutely everything in existence everywhere. Everything is being impacted by this conversation. So take that idea and think about your thoughts, think about your words, think about your actions. Everything is being impacted everywhere by your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So if you want to experience peace, then sit and be peace. Right now, this very moment, if everybody just sat down and said, I'm going to do nothing but be completely at peace for 5 minutes, there would be nothing but peace on this earth.
Right, and as you were saying when we started the show, many people think that peace is outside. They always think that peace has to do with others being at peace so that we can be at peace. And maybe it has to do with that ego thing that you're telling about in your book, you know, that as this is we have to live like in a dual life in which we have to separate others from us, because that's also what mind does, you know, separate things so that we can understand them. Maybe that's why everybody's thinking that peace is outside. And what we would like is to help people understand that the only way to achieve peace in whatever they see around is starting with oneself. Because as you were saying, if all of us chose to sit one day at the same time, you know, and just concentrate on feeling, on experiencing peace in whatever place we are, at whatever's happening in our life, and just concentrate on ourselves, to stop thinking about anything that's not peace, then actually the world would really have 5 full peace minutes, you know?
I know. It's true. It would be. It's amazing. And the only way people are going to prove this to themselves is if they start doing it in their own life. It's just bring peace into aspects of your life that are not peaceful right now. And then you can see that it really works. I mean, just think about, and all of the listeners can think about, just envisioning something in your life that is definitely not peaceful for you, and sitting down and thinking about that person or that subject or that situation or whatever it is, and start thinking of it in the way you would like it to unfold. Not with anger, not with you're right, they're wrong, nothing. Just the two of you and the other person, or you and the people in the situation, all of you getting along, all of you really loving each other, caring about each other, and how good that feels. And just keep holding that thought and holding that thought and holding that thought until you can feel it throughout your entire body. Now you're sending that message out into the universe. You're sending that message out to those people. And when you go into whatever situation it is, you can walk into that situation with that thought in your mind and feel how different it feels, because whatever you're thinking about a certain situation is going ahead of you as you walk into it. You're bringing the energy with you. You're the one that's making it happen in co-creation with the other people. So if your co-creative part is one of peace and resolution and compassion and love, that's what you're putting on the table for the situation.
And getting back to what we started talking about, can you tell us something about how this happens in a frequency language? Maybe talk a little bit about the harmonics and the things that, feeling peace means.
You mean like the coherent wavelength? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. And how come the frequency of peace contains these harmonics that make us feel better? How come peace makes us feel better?
Because peace is filled with love. Okay, and I'm not talking about love like, Hallmark greeting cards and the romantic moment.
That's something I discuss with my friends as well. They tell me, you keep on talking about love, and it's like, yeah, but it's not a Hallmark love, It's real universal, complete, total love. It's something that generates things that happen, feelings, thoughts, forms. Everything is like love it's like the center of everything that lives. It's like life, Actually, life is nothing but love.
It is life. And when we talk about unconditional love, which again, it's like the word ego, it's been beat to death. When we talk about unconditional love, what we're meaning is that you wish the best for the other person without any conditions whatsoever. It doesn't have anything to do with you or what you're going to get or how things are going to happen for you. You simply wish the very best for them, period. When we experience that depth of love, and when it's measured on an EEG, which is what measures our heart rhythm, the number that comes up, the ratio that comes up, is 1.618. And 1.618, this is all science now, 1.618 is the same ratio that is the golden ratio phi, which is actually 1/3 to 2/3. So, and this gets very scientific, and without being able to draw it out on a board, it's hard to imagine unless you already know what I'm talking about. Everything that is created in manifestation in this realm is created naturally with 1/3, 2/3. Seashells, pine cones, our cells, our DNA, the leaves I'm looking out of the window at, anything that has natural formation to it, not necessarily something that a human has built, like a building. But the Vitruvian Man, the Leonardo da Vinci did, that famous symbol of the man with his arms outstretched, it's 1/3 to 2/3 in everything. So that particular ratio is the natural ratio of life. When you are in a state of unconditional love, if your heart rhythm is measured by an EEG, which is the machine they use to measure the heart, that is the ratio that will come up on the screen. You are now at a ratio of 1 to 1.618 beats. That's what creates the feeling of peace and bliss in your body, because it's creating thriving in your cells. It's creating coherency, going back to the even troughs and crests of the wave, at its optimal level, so that your entire physical body feels like it is thriving in that moment, which sends all the chemistry, sending endorphins, DHEA, the growth hormone, all of the chemicals that go into your brain that make you feel wonderful, then happen. That's why people want peace. And that's why people want love and a sense of harmony and well-being, because that's what happens in your body. And that's the reason. That's the reason to do it.
So that's how we get our chemical balance as well.
Exactly. That's how we get the chemical balance in our body, because everything that we say is an emotion, everything people say, well, yeah, I'm really happy, I'm really sad, I'm scared, I'm angry, I'm this and that, it's really only chemistry. it's the various molecules in our body affecting our brain in a certain way and, quote unquote, making us feel this way. And we are the only one in control of the chemistry of our body. We can decide how we're going to shift and change whatever it is we want to shift and change.
Mm-hmm. And what about if, I have this therapy room. I was thinking about what you were talking. What about these people that have chosen to have psychiatric consultations, that are taking medicine and to try to balance themselves?
Through medication? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is there, how would these people, experience peace in their lives if they are already intaking chemical replacement, like psychiatric patients, for example?
Well, I'm the first one to say, if you're under the care of a physician, definitely talk to your physician about your desire to be able to work with your medical processes in such a way that you won't be so dependent upon those drugs. The drugs themselves, I know, again, drugs get a bad rap. The medications themselves have done wonders for all of us with the unusual stresses we're under and the various things that have happened in our minds. And at the same time, there's a lot of doctors and there's a lot of complementary therapies that are out there that assist with the process so that you don't become so dependent upon the medications over a long period of time. If someone's already taking something, they definitely need to really listen to their doctor's advice and discuss with the doctor or doctors, whoever it is, what they're wanting to do with their bodies and their life. I mean, that's really a big decision, and definitely not something that I can just give a blanket answer to on the radio. I'm always 100%, talk to your counselor, talk to your psychiatrist, talk to your doctor. Go to those people that you've trusted for so long and talk to them about how you're feeling in the moment, about whatever's going on. I really think it's important that we really blend with the medical profession and not pull away from it.
Yes, I was thinking about patients that have psychiatric medication and also people who are into drugs.
Oh, like into recreational drugs?
Yeah, also yes.
Well, yeah, they're taking recreational drugs because they want to feel the peace. That's why they're doing it. They think it's going to be a quick fix so that they can, just all of a sudden be flying high, but it doesn't last. That's the thing. And it also destroys your body. I mean, they're very destructive. I'm a child of the 60s, and the amount of destruction that was done during that era was amazing. I lived in San Francisco and was in part of a holy order at the end of the 60s into the 70s when we literally took the people, usually kids, they was like, teenagers off the streets, and we had halfway houses for them to help them come off of these drugs because it was so destructive. And their parents didn't know what to do. They would just say, do something for them. And there's a lot of destruction that is caused there. And at the same time, understanding that the reason they're doing it is because they want to feel what we can naturally feel through coherency, peace, and unconditional love. And that lasts. I mean, that's something you can call up at any moment. You don't have to rely on hoping that somebody's going to give you your next dose of whatever. And rather than destroying your body, coherent vibrations keep you looking younger. They make you healthy. You thrive. You don't have, old age is pushed way off. I mean, we could live hundreds of years. Rather than
enjoy, actually, not in pain, but enjoy, right?
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, exactly. And without destroying our bodies.
Yeah, because many of the people that I know that are in drugs, they usually keep telling me, why is it that I want to live so many years? It's okay, I can end up at 40, 50, whatever it is. But that's, of course, because as they have been able to find peace, everlasting peace, then it's like they just don't see looking forward like.
Yes. because it's fun to be alive. It's fun to have these bodies. It's fun to be part of all of this. And when you allow that to happen for yourself and you really reframe how you view life, then all of the reasons that people use drugs, all of those reasons go away. And they're free. I mean, everyone wants freedom. Everybody wants to feel free. You know, free from all their burdens, free from constraints, and that's the answer. And that's why it brings peace, because it gives you a sense of freedom always with everyone in every situation.
And real freedom, right? Not just freedom, like a little bit of freedom.
No. I just got an email from one of my students today, and she's been working on whatever resistance she has to various things that have happened in her life. And over the weekend, a lot of them came up, and she used all of her tools. She used everything that she's learned in all of these classes over all of these months, and she said, I'm free. I'm free. I was free. Nothing happened. I did what I knew to do, and freedom reigns. She goes, don't pass the salt, pass me a mantra.